Hey guys, I'm looking for a few good men who want to join me. I last year during the CARES Act, they started printing all the money out of thin air, and I decided I am not paying for this. So I'd been listening to a lot of podcasts like Peter Schiff and Doug Casey, maybe not him, but some of the others. They had already made the move to Puerto Rico, and they were advertising that this is a place where you can come and get some tax freedom. So I made the move in May of 2020. I loaded up and moved down here to Puerto Rico, and just bought a house a couple months ago. Everything was going fine, and now Governor Pedro, who won an election last year, apparently he was what I heard this last week. That's the first time I've heard this story, but apparently he was trailing in the voting updates. Power went out, and power comes back on, and he's won the election. So I think it was a stolen election, probably was, but um, Governor Pedro has declared a new emergency here in Puerto Rico that is going to begin in 3 weeks. Now, on its face, I would have to question how you can logically have an emergency that isn't immediate. But apparently, that's just fine with the Democrats. They seem to love this. So, this new emergency order is going to require, it doesn't require, but they're going to develop or implement a vaccine passport. It's going to be optional for the merchants. The grocery stores are all recommended heavily by Governor Pedro to require proof of vaccination to enter their premises. Knowing Puerto Rico, I don't know if I'll be able to buy groceries in 3 weeks. That's how bad this thing has gotten, and I mean, it just turned on a 180. So, if you consider yourself to be a free market capitalist, a sound money advocate, an anti-communist capitalist, um, or a Christian, because I'll tell you what, guys, this thing is sure looking a lot like the mark of the beast, right? Because how many employers just in the last week have announced, oh, you can't work here if you don't prove you're vaccinated? Um, so you can't sell your labor here. And then how many people have, I think Shake Shack, one of them said that you're not going to be allowed to buy our stuff without a proof of vaccination. This is going on in Italy, France, Greece, UK. There's a lot of protests, but I don't expect to see any protests here in Puerto Rico. Nothing meaningful. Apparently, just mind blowing how much these people seem to love this COVID lockdown and everything that goes along with it. So there's a community that I joined on Facebook for a lot of the people to share, comments and questions about the move here and the Act 60 benefits. And so, just to give you a little bit of summary on the act, when I moved down here, I was promised that I would set up an LLC. The LLC would be taxed at a corporate tax rate of 4%, and then all distributions I would pull from that LLC would be taxed at zero. And so once I got down here, I read the act in English, and I found out lo and behold, I qualify for 2% corporate income tax. So I made the move, and now I'm finding out my application has been pending for 13 months, which is totally normal here in Puerto Rico, especially given the COVID situation. But now there's new legislation that is going to be voted on, it looks like, in the next session, and they are probably going to end this thing, and I don't know what I'll be stuck with. I just bought a house down here. I made the move. I've invested all the. It is not cheap to move from the mainland to Puerto Rico or the Caribbean. It is not cheap at all. So I've invested a lot of money to get down here to this point, and it looks like it might not even pay off. Um, so anyway, if you consider yourself to be a free market capitalist, a sound money advocate, a Christian, what has happened just here in the last 10 days or so? In case you haven't figured it out, we are at war. They've declared war on us. I just found out today the company that got the contract in the UK to develop that's developing the vaccine passport app. It was acquired by a family back in 1987, and this family basically is very closely associated to Goebbels and Hitler. Hitler was the best man in a wedding that this family was involved in. So imagine, if you will, the Nazis of 1930 having the technology that exists today. Well, guess what? They do. They do have this technology. So a lot of the people on this forum that I've joined on Facebook for the Act 60 participants, a lot of people are asking, where do we go? Where do we go? And there's nowhere to go. But I think I might have thought of a solution, maybe. Um, so I'm just going to lay it out here and see what the feedback is. If you like my video, please give me the thumbs up, sub to the channel, and definitely leave a comment and let me know what your thoughts are. So The U.S. Virgin Islands is only about 60, 70 miles from here. And I looked it up today. According to my Google search, there's only 106,000 people that live in the U.S. Virgin Islands. Of those 106,000, only 53,000 of them are registered to vote. During the 2020 elections last November, only 18,000 of those residents actually turned out and voted. So in order to win an election, you would only need, in theory, 20,000 people if the elections aren't rigged, and if we can get an honest, if they don't try to steal it, which I think we need to be prepared for that. But if we had 20,000 people of us, like-minded, free market capitalists, anti-communist, conservative, sound money advocates, Christians, moving down there, we could run that island. We could get the Constitution we want. We could take over all the city councils, the school boards, the sheriffs, the governor, the attorney general. We could do it all, and hopefully we could even issue a warrant for the rest of Dorsey and Zuckerberg for the crimes that they've committed, and we could bring them down there and extradite them and try them. I think that's a real goal that we could have for this new republic. We could rewrite their constitution. The first thing we would need to do, obviously, is take away or extremely limit the ability of these governors to declare an emergency, which is what has caused all these problems. I will mention that there's not a red state governor in the mainland that I trust. Don't trust any of them. I think they're all controlled. Even DeSantis and even Abbott. I don't. I do like so far the one in South Dakota, the female governor. She has not done anything to lose my trust at this point. But the rest of them, I'm very suspicious. Very suspicious of all of them. I don't like any of them. I don't like Trump. So if but regardless, if these are the things that you stand for and these are the things that you want, freedom is there if we can get enough people to make this move. I think it could become the Singapore of the Caribbean. I think we could do this. We could literally turn this thing around and get freedom. But it's going to require that enough of us move down there to get the vote and get things done peacefully. Because I'm sure everybody has thought about doing something that wouldn't be legal. And I can tell you there's cameras after post 9/11. There's cameras on every intersection. They're tracking your phone. They know where you are. I would imagine your car tracks where you're going. So there's not what man can make war with the beast. I think that's a Bible verse. We can't. But I think if we do something peacefully, like try to take this back our freedoms through the ballot box, we might have a chance. We could have Second Amendment. We could have the IRS does not have jurisdiction in the U.S. Virgin Islands. It's a U.S. territory. We could have no income tax. We could definitely take away the vaccine requirements, and maybe if our government found that those vaccines weren't safe, we could say they're not even allowed in our territory. And I think that would be the finding. Um, there's nothing we couldn't do. It could be totally free market capitalism all the way. But here's the problem I thought about this morning. So, I post this video and 20,000 people say, yeah, I'll do it. Well, if you signed your name to the Declaration of Independence, if you were one of those 53 men with the guts to do it, you were signing your own death warrant. So it's real easy to say, I'll make the move. But are you going to be the first one to move down there and buy real estate and make the move, hoping that 19,000 other people come behind you? That's a hell of a gamble. So the way I thought we could approach this is to show sincerity that yes, I'm really going to make this move. Now, unfortunately, making this move for people that don't have a lot of resources, it's not even an option right now. But what could happen is once we get down there, some entrepreneurs could put some money together and we could build houses and apartments. And that would enable those with less resources to move down there and enjoy the freedoms that hopefully we can establish. But um, back to the issue of sincerity. What I thought was, most of the people that would be interested in making this move are probably wise to the U.S. dollar. It's losing probably somewhere around 10% of its purchasing power right now, and it seems to be, um, gaining steam in terms of it's losing more and more value each and every month, even according to the government CPI numbers that have started coming out in 2021. So I was thinking maybe we could have people that want to prove their sincerity to the other people that want to make this move, We set up a trust, and I was thinking maybe the guys over at Kinesis would be able to help with this. I don't know anything about it, but Kinesis, in case you don't know, is a gold back, and I think they offer a silver backed cryptocurrency that you can put your money in there, and it would just be in that trust. And basically, once you come down to the Virgin Islands and get their state issued ID, then you can say, I want my money back out. And if you don't ever show up and do it, then you're going to lose your deposit. And I was thinking to start out, maybe to prove sincerity to the other people, maybe a $10,000 deposit. Maybe more, maybe less, but that's kind of the ballpark I was thinking. And like I say, we wouldn't hold it in fiat dollars because I think most people here are going to be pretty bearish in general on the dollar. But that's my thoughts. I think we can take this back. I think we can get some freedom. I don't know how long it'll last. I mean, we're going up against some pretty evil forces, but if we don't try, they're going to steamroll us. I don't know what else to do. I certainly can't advocate violence, and I know a lot of people are probably thinking that at this point, but that's not something that anybody can go on camera and advocate. So peaceful is about the only thing we can try. And if we can find 20, 30, 40, 50,000 people that are sick of the bullshit and they're ready to move, realize all of your ancestors moved here to escape to more freedom. All of them, all that came here from Europe, Africa, wherever your ancestors came from, they all came here. They made the move. It was not easy, I promise you. Wooden boats, sails, they made the journey to get over here. And now you're facing the same dilemma. You're probably going to have to do it too. And you're going to have to swallow up and man up and be man enough to acknowledge that and accept that and be ready to do something. So that's my thoughts. I really want anybody who gets through the end of this video that's sincerely interested in this to leave a comment, sub to this channel. I'm hoping I can make another presentation in another couple days after we get some feedback. But definitely we need to get down there, take control of that government, rewrite that constitution, restrict that governor's ability to declare an emergency, basically rewrite the whole constitution, and make sure that it ensures our freedom, and that we have judges in place down there that will adhere to that constitution. And when they don't, or if they start to stray, we're going to have something in that constitution where we can bring them out and strangle them. So that's my 2 cents. And anyway, I appreciate your time, and please leave a comment. Thank you.